Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. I'm Vishakha Vinze, and I'm delighted to welcome you to today's session Simplifying Healthcare Integration on AWS with EHRConnect. Healthcare teams are under pressure to move faster while staying compliant. Yet, integrations with Epic, Cerner, Athena, and even devices or wearables still take months and consume significant engineering time. That's why we are here today to talk about how Mindbowser and AWS partnered to simplify and streamline these challenges. Before we dive in, let me take a quick moment to introduce Mindbowser. Mindbowser is a health tech consulting company that combines clinical insight with strong engineering to build AI driven, compliant, and interoperable digital health solutions. With over 13 years in the industry, we have helped healthcare organizations streamline workflows through custom software and purpose built accelerators. And on the screen right now, you can also see our strategic partnership ecosystem. Before we begin, I would like to introduce our moderator for today, Manisha Khadke, CMO at Mindbowser. I will now hand it over to Manisha to introduce herself and kickstart the webinar. Over to you, Manisha.
Thank you, Ushaka. Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone, to the webinar. I am Manisha Khadke, Chief Marketing Officer at Mindbowser. I come with close to 25 years of experience in B2B IT space, and it's been super exciting journey at Mindbowser, which is close to 3 years now. And I'm really excited to host this webinar. Joining me is Hassan, who's the principal solution architect at AWS. He also comes with EHR expertise. Hassan, would you like to say hello and maybe briefly introduce yourself, please?
Hi everyone, my name is Hassan Musaid. I am a principal solution architect with Amazon Web Services. I have been with AWS for 4 years now. I have 20 years of experience in healthcare life sciences. I worked with Philips Healthcare, IBM Watson Health, and now with Amazon Web Services. I am also an adjunct faculty. I have PhD in computer science, and I'm happy to be here with the Mindbrowser team.
Great, thank you so much. Our next panelist is Suyash Nadkarni, who will basically support us, specifically address the AWS tech stack related questions. So, Suyash, would you like to say hello and introduce yourself briefly, please?
Absolutely. Thanks, Manisha. Hello, everyone. My name is Suyash Nadkarni. I'm a solutions architect here at AWS, been with the company for 4 years. I help partners navigate them to their AWS journey, helping them get funding, helping them get them through the different programs, and also work closely with them to build that strategic partnership with them. So happy to be here. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Thanks.
Thank you, Suyash. And last but not the least, Arun Badole, who's also the VP Engineering at Mindbowser. He comes with 10 years of experience specifically in healthcare and, of course, been a very critical part of building EHRConnect. Arun, would you like to say hello? And
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Manisha. Hello, everyone. So again, as Manisha mentioned, I'm working as a VP engineer for Mindbowser. Like mostly we are working with the healthcare customer and helping them building compliant products for them. So looking forward to this session. Yeah, thank you.
all right, sounds great. So it's a power-packed panel, and here is the agenda. So what we will be discussing basically is, of course, the healthcare integration and interoperability challenges, and then we'll also cover how AWS in healthcare helps you build HIPAA-compliant solutions, and the highlight of this webinar where we showcase EHRConnect platform demo along with few selected use cases. And we've saved the best part for the last, where we'll be talking about the special offer for attendees who have taken their valuable time to attend this webinar. All right, so We are a purpose-driven organization. We always do everything and anything asking why. So, why this webinar? Well, almost every health tech team today is hitting the same wall. EHR integration has become the single biggest bottleneck. In fact, 8 out of 10 teams report that this is their number one slowdown. And why is that? Is that it easily adds, over 6 months to your product timeline. And while you are wrestling with APIs and certifications and workflow mapping, compliance layers kind of pile up. Every requirement, be it HIPAA, SOC 2, audit trails, PHI boundaries, slows down your go live and increases your risk. Nearly 40% of engineering time gets totally sucked up into simply connecting system instead of tech teams building new features or improving the patient experience, which is the ultimate goal for which healthcare companies actually leverage technology. Last but not the least, even though cloud adoption is kind of skyrocketing, interoperability still, is fragmented. Everyone is moving to cloud, but the plumbing between system hasn't caught up yet. So this is exactly why where an AWS native interoperability approach changes the whole game. You get speed, security, audit readiness, and ability to scale integrations without actually reinventing the wheel every single time. All right, this is a quick snapshot where we have tried to put together some of the healthcare segments just to give you a high level idea in terms of how much exactly percentage of building your own system takes your time and cost, etc. The top 5 6 challenges pretty much remain same. Maybe the priority kind of shuffles here and there depending on which segment you are in, whether it's population health or IoT device, or you're trying to add more EHRs to your system, telehealth, RPM. Specifics of the challenges within those top 5 challenges could change based on the segment, but at high level, foundationally, we have already covered the challenges which we typically face. So before we get into more details, we would like to do a quick poll to understand the pulse of the audience so that we could focus more on the areas which they would like to hear from us. Vishaka, can we do a quick poll, please?
Yes, sure. So I'm launching the poll right now.
All right, there you go. What is your biggest challenge with EHR integration today? Let's give some time to audience to kind of vote in terms of what is it which they feel are the biggest challenges currently they're facing, and then maybe we could focus more on those challenges versus all of them. We'll just give a couple of more seconds. All right. Vishaka, are we ready to publish the results?
Yes. Yes, sharing the results now.
All right. Okay, great. So I think that, this is a strong testament to what we just shared in terms of challenges. And it's good to know that the top challenge is high integration cost and resource requirement and long development, specifically in terms of the timeline. So I think this team coming together and talking about EHRConnect really justifies because this is precisely what EHRConnect helps you address. All right. Okay, great. Can we get back to the presentation, please? All right. Okay, great. Yeah, now it looks perfectly fine. So I've already explained why we have come together. So this is a brief overview in terms of how AWS and Mindbowser expertise combine together to generate that value for our customers. Basically, the foundation of this platform is built on AWS. So, as far as the compliance and HIPAA eligible infrastructure is concerned, it's completely fully compliant. Automated deployments via, we've used CloudFormation and other AWS tech stack. And as far as security, scalability, and FHIR ready backend is concerned, because of AWS Foundation, all these checkboxes are in place. With Mindbowser's engineering and delivery expertise, as Vishaka said, that we've been working in this particular domain for more than a decade. We've done numerous custom integrations for our customers, be it Epic, Cerner, Athena. We have helped them build those custom workflows and provider dashboards, etc. So we bring all that expertise together in using the AWS foundation. How we help our customers with this particular solution is, faster integration, of course, reduce the cost more than the half of what it is, and of course the total cost of ownership, and the scalability across multiple EHR. And EHRConnect actually not just helps you connect with EHR, but also with any health system, be it medical device or wearable device, for to kind of add to the EHRs. All right. So we purposely put this together. If you ask us that are we the only company who's solving this problem, the answer is of course no. There are a lot of off-the-shelf products available. There are a lot of companies who are doing custom built in-house. But I would say that both whatever solutions available in the market have certain challenges, and EHRConnect specifically addresses those challenges. So even if we are not the first one to attempt to solve this particular problem, we certainly do it in a unique and a differentiated way, because we address both the challenges which comes with the custom build or off the shelf. So to give you an example, if you're trying to build yourself, timeline is one thing, of course, which I highlighted earlier. Cost is another thing. Focus of healthcare companies not primarily on integration. So there's always, resource crunch, expertise and deep domain knowledge with respect to HL7, FHIR, all those things come in place. And every new integration, you have to pretty much rewrite, the whole story again. Whereas the off-the-shelf product which are available in the market, I guess the topmost challenge is the inflexibility. Even if you're doing a small customization to a big customization, you end up paying huge cost for the same, and then you're forever dependent on the vendor because the lock-in period is there, and there is limited control over the data. All these challenges we have tried. Actually, this is the basis of building EHRConnect as to how we could address, because these are the challenges we kept on hearing from our customers, going to events and representing at HLTH and HIMSS and all those prominent events. We kind of came up with a solution which addresses all of these, where the heavy lifting in terms of deep domain knowledge is taken care. The timelines are drastically reduced, because you can just get started in days versus months. The cost is certainly half the price, which otherwise you end up paying. And of course, the top 2-3 qualities is that this particular solution is built in generative AI era, so it's AI first. And the topmost quality which our customers who have recently onboarded and using the system talk about is that ability to build custom workflows without having the deeper domain expertise, because the heavy lifting is being taken care by our team. So I wanted to put it out there that this is probably not the first attempt to solve the problem, but this is certainly a unique and a different way to solve this. And foundationally, it is built on AWS. So your security compliance part is taken care. And to top it all, this is completely hosted on your cloud. So you own the data and the IP with respect to the data. So you have the full control as far as the data is concerned. All right, so from here I'll hand it over to Hassan to talk about why AWS is excited about EHRConnect and how AWS and Mindbowser coming together to generate value for our customers. Over to you, Hassan.
Thank you. And next slide, please. Next slide. These are some of the AWS services, but I want to talk about, next slide, please. So this slide, the reason why I use a product like EHRConnect, because you have to bring data from on-prem, from other cloud providers, from EHR, from EMR, from different healthcare systems into AWS. And the way you do it with EHRConnect, that's an integration piece. And once you have it on AWS, there is so much you can do with that data. You can store it into, for example, Amazon HealthLake, which is our FHIR compliant data store. It is HIPAA eligible service where you can store, transform, transact, and analyze data at scale. Basically, it's highly scalable, highly available. And that one is a FHIR, it just accepts FHIR resources. And you can use EHRConnect. That's the integration piece. Once we got to the architecture, I will show you where EHR fits into that whole puzzle. You get the data from, let's say, Cerner or other EMR EHR systems, and you can use EHR, you transform it into a file resource, and you store it into something like HealthLake. HealthLake, you can create data store within minutes. It is HIPAA eligible, highly scalable, highly available, and you can deploy it worldwide. You can deploy it in different regions, and you all know that healthcare, it's basically you have to follow regulatory requirements, so you have to deploy it where the data exists, like in the US, in Canada, in Europe, and other regions as well. So besides, there are many purpose-built services within Amazon Web Services. One of them is HealthLake. The other one is HealthOmics that you can transform genomics. So you can combine it with other data sets like omics data, so you can generate more insights. If you have DICOM or if you have images, like X-ray and other type of DICOM images, you can store it into our health imaging data store. So you can combine the data that you bring from to EHRConnect. You can combine it with health omics. You can combine with data images and you can really generate good insights about patient. And at the end of the day, it's all about improving the patient care. HealthScribe, it's all about our transcription service for healthcare data. So if you have provider and patient talking to each other, you can use HealthScribe to convert the data from speech into text, and it's going to organize it in a good way between the provider and patient. And you can combine it with everything that you have across all those purpose health services. So next slide, please. So this one, those are some of the use cases where you can use EHRConnect together with the Amazon HealthLake. So you can have it for providers, for payers, for ISVs, for government. Those are some of the common need we hear. So it's for compliance purpose, because at the end of the day, you have to meet regulatory requirement. Like in this case, in the US, you have to be HIPAA eligible service. And EHRConnect is being built on the top of HIPAA eligible service within Amazon, so you're good there. HealthLake is also HIPAA eligible service, and every data store that you have. So it's seamless scaling for clinical enterprise. It's highly scalable, highly secure, and you can meet different regulatory requirements. And on the payer side, you see all those compliance that you are eligible when you use those services combined. Next slide, please. So this is something I already spoke about. Amazon HealthLake is HIPAA eligible service. EHRConnect being built by Mindbowser. It's also HIPAA eligible service. So by combining these two tools, that's a great that's a powerful combination, because at the end of the day, without data you cannot do much with that data. So you have to bring it somehow and you have to convert it. And we're going to go to the next slide, please. So this one, it's end-to-end architecture diagram. So on the left side, you have data sources. You can have claims, you can have wearable and devices, you have clinical notes, You have data coming from EHRs, from EMRs, from other healthcare systems, and you have to use something between the data source and Amazon Health Lake. In this case, you can use EHRConnect. That's already integrated and tested with Cerna and other healthcare systems. Once you bring that data, you can use EHRConnect to convert it into different data standard. In this case, you can convert it into a FHIR resource and you can store it within Amazon Health Lake. Once you store it within Amazon Health Lake, on the right side, that's where you have that powerful use case that you can enable. You can use, for example, SageMaker, which is our data science platform where you can create machine learning algorithm. You can combine it with, let's say, different foundation models, different large language models. Really, you can generate insights. You can create visualization using something like Amazon Quick Suite, and you can enable the patient as well as the provider, because at the end of the day, providers and patient, they need to consume those resources. And also, if you have the right to use it for research purpose, you can make it available for data science purpose to your data scientists, so they can create new business value, new insights about the patient. Next slide, please. So this one is one of the powerful services that we have in AWS that you can put on the top of Health Lake and on the top of EHRConnect. This is where you can create generative AI solutions. You can quickly, within minutes, create chatbot against your data lake, in this case Health Lake, and all data is coming from EHRConnect. Once you create that chatbot, you can make it available, let's say, to patients, where they can ask questions about their healthcare resources, about their medications, immunizations, and other type of resources. And also you can make it available to your providers. If you have providers as users or as customers, they can look at all the patient cohort, they can look at all the patients with specific medications and all of that, and they can serve the patient, or they can look at appointment if you have appointment resource. And other type of resources. And also you can make it available to your data science team as long as you are allowed to access that data set and you use it for data science purpose, because at the end of the day, you have to comply with the regulatory requirements. In this case, you can make it available to data science teams so they can create patient cohorts. They can find all the patients with specific medications, specific immunizations, so they can create new either ML algorithms, or they can create new insights, or they can create workflows. So within Quick Suite on the top of Health Lake, on top of EHRConnect, you can create chatbots, you can create new workflows. Imagine you want to create new workflows for clinicians to check patient, to check appointment, to check on them as well. You can create those workflows. You can also create research. There is a research feature within QuickSight or Quick Suite where you can enable research on top of your data set. And of course, the powerful within Quick Suite is that you can create a visualization dashboard. Next slide, please.
So I just want to add, Hassan, sorry to interrupt, for the audience sake, that you can put in your questions in Q&A window, and we will address all of them at the end of the session. We might not be able to address all of them, but we'll try our best to take most of them. But we will make sure that we revert to everyone who's asked. And there were a lot of people who are attending the webinar have also put in their queries while registration. So we will make sure that we reach out to everyone. For this particular webinar, we are more than happy to, you can keep adding questions to Q&A window, and we'll take it at the end. Thank you.
And I will answer one question about Compare Medical, because in the architecture diagram, there is a service called Amazon Compare Medical. That's a service that you can use on the top unstructured data set. As you know, in healthcare, providers, they create nodes, they generate documentation, so you can apply Compare Medical on the top of that unstructured data set, and you can convert it into discharge summaries, you can convert it into other resources, and you can convert it into well-defined formats, so you can use it for other purposes. You can make it available to providers, make it available in chatbot, and make it available to patients. So it's basically a way to convert unstructured data set into a structured data set. This one, it just, like I said, as long as you have data through EHRConnect, you store it in in HealthLake, you can integrate with other data sources. Imagine you have like public data sources like research papers about specific medications, about specific diagnostics. You can upload them, for example, into S3, which is our object store, and you can combine it with the patient healthcare resources, with research papers, and you can generate new insight. You can, of course, integrate with other data sources, like other databases like Postgres and others, Redshift, and you can connect it to third-party tools, which means you can bring all that data into one place. But you start with the EHRConnect, and from there the sky's the limit, because at the end of the day you want to generate some business value, and also you want to improve the patient outcome. Next slide, please. This one, it just you can click on that video. This one just explains the features of Amazon Quick Suite. This one, you can create claims processing, you can create chatbots within minutes, like in this case, and you can create workflows and in an easy format. So anyone can do it. You don't have to be an engineer. You can just click and drop the different workflows, so you can enable those workflows either for clinical workflows, for claims workflows, for processing those insurance payments, to process those denials. This is one way of applying and creating some use cases on the top of your data stored in HealthLake. So this one is just, you can, there's so many information online or YouTube. You can just type Quick Suite, and this is a visualization dashboard. Imagine you have data from Cerner or from other data sources. You go through EHRConnect, you store it in HealthLake. You can create all those visualization dashboards, so you can see how many patients you have, how many patients have specific medication, and you can create those dashboards, and you can share them with whomever is authorized to see them, and you can make decisions sometimes in real time or sometimes after the fact, so you can figure out what's good, what's bad for those patients. But that's really the power combination. And EHRConnect, basically you can deploy it anywhere in any other regions. HealthLake is also available in many regions worldwide, and you can create that powerful communication sometimes within minutes instead of taking weeks or months. And those you can, this one is just QR code for those products, but also you can just go to AWS.com or Amazon Web Services website, and you can find all those services. And in the Amazon Marketplace, you can find EHRConnect as a tool that you can use. So I can answer questions on the call, but I will pass it on to Manisha.
Sure. Thank you so much, Hassan. That was a great overview, which basically, highlights as to how AWS and EHRConnect combination, generates a lot of value. You've pretty much covered, wide range of use cases and benefits, which is great.
Yeah, and feel free to reach out to Manisha or Arun if you want like demos. We can do demos offline, so we can schedule those demos with you as well.
Right. Yeah. There are a lot of questions coming in, but we'll probably park them aside for now, but we'll address all of them.
Can I just answer a few questions? Do you mind? Or it's
I think the audience must be keen on seeing the demo, so maybe we can do it after demo. Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, let's answer the questions about them. Okay.
Yeah, let's give them what they're looking for first, because I'm assuming that this is going to be the exciting part. We've done all the talking. Now it's show time. So over to you, Arun.
Okay, great. Thank you, Manisha. So now you heard like what platform is offering, what we are claiming. So let's see how actually it works. And I hope all of you are excited. So let me share my screen. Okay, I hope everyone can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, good, great. Okay, so let me start from from marketplace itself, where EHRConnect is officially published. So this actually validated and approved by AWS partner solution. It is designed and reviewed across very famous AWS well-architected framework, which at least talk about security, reliability, operation excellence, all those things, right? And apart from being well architected, it is actually HIPAA ready as well. And I want to repeat those two words, HIPAA ready, because in healthcare, these two words can save you like your months on back to back discussion with your compliance team. uh, and personally, we have gone through all these things, like we have suffered all so many things here, so that I can say with the confidence this HIPAA ready thing actually saves a lot of time. And why I'm saying it, because all the heavy work is required. Let's say you want to do setting up the infrastructure, you want to secure the system, you want to manage the tokens. Everything is built in into the system, and these are usually the areas or the phases where team slows down. Even before they start integrating or starting the real integration work. Apart from this, many of the customer like worry about their PHI data. They're worried, they're concerned about whether the data would leave from outside their system, go to a vendor system, which is actually a major blocker. But with EHRConnect, that's not the case. That's not the problem here. So all the PHI stays within your cloud. We as a company, Mindbowser, do not have access to your infra. It's your team who launches the EHRConnect inside your own AWS environment. Once you launch, your infra will be provisioned within like 15 to 20 minutes in a compliant manner. So there is no shared environment, no vendor managed data. Everything is kind of under your control. And again, this is a huge advantage from both compliance and control standpoint. So simply you just subscribe and launch, and AWS deploys everything, and then you will receive credentials and all. So let me just go through the portal, and I'm switching my screen. So now we are at this portal. So yeah, you can see this login screen, exactly how your team will start working with. So again, very straightforward, secure login, nothing fancy here. You can just simply go and log in. Okay, so once you log in, very first thing that you see is this dashboard. So again, it's like it's a single place where you can see all your connections, all your active workflow you created, in fact your license details as well. Plus, you also see all the recent activities happening. This will discuss in some time in detail as well. Then again, notice this, all these claims you're saying, this HIPAA ready, smart and FHIR, HL7v2 compliant and all. Let's go to very important part is this connections. So you can see here we have already built or added few connection, obviously for demo purposes. You can see this Epic is there, Cerner is there with different types of integration there, right? So basically a connection is it's a secure integration to an EHR or a payer or a clearing house like Availability or Steady, or it could be variable, data source as well, or even any smaller non-certified EMRs as well. So basically the connection defines how you authenticate, authorize, and communicate. So let's see how we can create it. So let me go create this add connection, right? So you can see this list here. We have, many EHR listed, Epic, Cerner, Athena, MedTech, and many more. In fact, with new releases, we are adding more EHRs. So let's see how we actually connect. So let's take an example of Epic. But before I go into this, selecting this Epic, here are capabilities as well. So each integration does support, let's say, it supports FHIR, it supports Smart and FHIR as well. It supports bulk data export. In some cases, we have this HL7 V2 CDS hooks as well, right? So these are all capabilities added to this integrations. So when you actually, want to select, want to integrate. So very first step is that you have to choose, how you want your app to interact with the EHR. That the very first thing that you have to choose. So mostly there are these major three types of launch patterns are available. Very first is like standalone launch. Standalone basically is like an independent launch. Your app launch is independent of EHR. It's it's outside of EHR obviously. It is mostly used for like patient portal or provider application. Another, we have the Smart and FHIR embedded. In this particular case, your app appears directly inside the EHR, like Epic or Cerner, obviously with your custom UI, with your own UI. It's like an iframe inside an EHR, but of course with this smart protocol in place. So, and again, this context like pre-authorized, so don't need to guess what is the context and all. This is usually good for like clinical workflow and all. Then we have this third type, which is I personally find very interesting. It's like server to server integration, like backend to backend. It's pure server to server integration. It actually works with this JWT Barrett authentication. It is usually good for like bulk export. You want to do analytics on lot of data, automation you want to do. This does not have any user interaction. It's like there is a zero user interaction happening here. And this is usually considered as a more secure and highest in control. In fact, most of the enterprise workflow chooses this pattern because of the flexibility it provides and power it has. So let me show what exactly we do inside this. So let me open something which already we have created. So let me open this first one, Epic, which has this backend type. Okay. So how you add or edit an integration? So you obviously there are few basic stuff that you need to provide the name, and these are already selected. Then you have to provide this configuration stuff. So you can provide your client ID, which is actually an app ID, which you are getting from Epic or Cardio app created. Then this endpoints, this all URL for token and FHIR resources, right? And obviously you have to have scope. So what kind of, what is the scope of your request you're going to make? Then here come this very important aspect of like this backend to backend specifically. It's a very crucial security work we need to do. There are many things happening here. So if you're experienced with this bulk export thing, so what you have to do first, you have to create this RSA public and private key, right? You have to generate those. Then you have to kind of create this JWS URL. You have to host it. Then you have to sign it, and then you have to manage the token exchange. You have to manage this scope handling, right? So there's a lot of work happening. You can see this, and this is all automated, right? So what is happening? All the heavy lifting on this is managed by EHRConnect, and everything is what is being generated. It is secured, stored in a very secure manner by the platform itself. This particular task, or what I just explained the steps, it actually can take good amount of effort, which with the help of EHRConnect we are able to do in minutes only. So your team just has to provide some basic metadata details like client ID and all these things, and you are good. So this is how you actually create a connection. Let's move to workflows, which is again very important aspect. So basically workflows are like a logic engine. It defines what you want to do with your data once the systems are connected. It's like a reusable clinical process you have. Like for example, you can see here, this is like there is this referral scheduling is in place. Patient bulk export is happening. This is one more use case, and prior authorization, eligibility verification. So these are different use cases which are reusable. And these workflow actually uses the security setup we did in integration, right? So your team does not have to manage all those tokens and keys manually. It is like, you just created the last step. Now you can actually use it, behind the scene itself. So now let's move to the, like where the real power of EHRConnect lies, which we call it our workflow engine. So it is loading, yeah.
So I just want to add that all
Yes.
Arun kind of showcased now, it actually requires, more like a couple of weeks kind, but then here you're setting up the whole thing in few minutes.
Yes. Okay, so I want to first, highlight this left side. You can see there are so many nodes are, you can see, visible here. More than 50 plus nodes are here. So basically these nodes are, like kind of building blocks of workflow. Each node has their own specific tasks. For example, you can see that you want to have a backend to backend integration. You want to create a FHIR resource. You want to delete a resource. You want to read, search, filter. Then you can go more like when you do bulk export, there are many, like types of nodes are available. Then for HL7 also there are many. Then these common utility nodes are available where you want to, inject something, debug or catch some error and all those things. Then again, some utility functions available when you want to do some, like conditional operation there. Network. So it may happen like, not every system support HTTPS. It may happen that it is some system are supporting TCP or SFTP. So those kind of like protocol can also be used using these nodes. Then there are many, like again, for the different types of format of data, different parsers are available. Then for storage, so as we are with AWS, so AWS service nodes, in this case we have this S3 nodes are available, right? Then obviously, right, like in today's era, nothing lives without AI. So AI agentic flows, their nodes are also available, right? So what is how you can actually build it? So let me just give an example. So let's say you want to create an API like endpoint. So let's say we want to create an HTTP request. Let me just okay. So basically, simply you can just drag and drop. So like you have this HTTP request created. Now let's say you want to create a FHIR resource. Okay, so you can just simply drag drop this next node here. So what you have to do for each node, you can go and like provide properties. Like you can provide this URL and any other detail you want to add. You want to use authentication, proxy, or any detail you want in. Then you can save it. Then for FHIR also, you can actually select which integration type we are using. So in this case, we have these two options available. You can select this standalone one. Then again, which type of resource you want to create. That also you can choose. Then all other details what you want to add in. Then maybe once it is done, you want to use something related to, let's say, AI as well. So you can just simply drag and drop this agent as well. And again, you can obviously connect and see it, right? So this would be kind of your entry point. You have this endpoint available, API available. You can, like call it and you will have this function happening for you and you'll get a result. Okay, so okay, what I just explained in like, very few clicks or, like few steps, there is a lot of work happening behind the scenes, right? So this nodes actually represent the, like the years of learning we have in this domain. Uh, we have tried to, not only the basic stuff, we have also tried to include those tiny nuances, which actually very helpful. And, many times teams learn in a hard way, but we have tried to put in, like proactively here only. So, for example, in FHIR, there are a lot of things happening. Like when you write or create any resource, so you have to do a lot of things. You have to do mapping. Maybe you have some your own custom data, but you have to map with the FHIR. So, all those things are like put in very simply just by dragging and dropping things, right, and connecting things. And again, not only basic stuff which I just explained, we are adding more than that. For example, like many hospital system still uses this HL7v2 data, system using that MLLP over TCP, right? Which is actually lightweight HL7 protocol. But we are also supporting that out of the box. Another example I can give is about, let's say, this HL7 acknowledgement thing. So this is again a best practice. Whenever you are, like you are dealing with HL7 messages, you should acknowledge it. So hospitals can understand, okay, we have received the message. Forgetting this tiny detail actually has broken more integration than we can count. So, and all of these again from our experience we have put as a proactive and by default and off the shelf, like in form of nodes itself. Again, I want to say that thing, like with this we are saving weeks of setup and custom development effort for real. This is actually it is happening. So let me explain what is already there. Let me just delete this one already.
Yeah, I think not just the efforts, but the flexibility which allows
Obviously.
customer to actually build their own custom workflows.
Correct.
That's the highlight of this solution, because
Yes.
otherwise for customization, it's the time and cost both, along with the expertise. So it
Correct.
typically addresses all three, where you have the flexibility to build your own clinical workflows, and not just one, multiple ones you can build from scratch. And our team has made sure that they have a comprehensive list of available nodes, so that you can just drag and drop. And in case you want something really customized, there is also a function node where you can actually write your own code and custom build as per your requirement, if
Correct.
that there is
Yes.
anything missing over here. So I think
Yes.
that's the beauty of this platform, that it actually allows you to do your own stuff without having deeper knowledge, and of course quickly, and with the highest flexibility.
Correct. Yes. So, for example, very quickly, I'll try to explain. So, we have this patient bulk export. So, if you are aware, so it is actually multi-step, operation. So, very first thing that you have to do, you have to create a request. Like you are creating a bulk kickoff request. So, for example, in this case, we are doing a patient fetch, right? Patient bulk data fetch. So, you can. This is your entry point, right? This is where you will be getting your endpoint, right? And then all this backend to backend, here you are actually using the authentication. Then you are sending the request, right? Again, here also you can provide all those details. You have to provide this group ID in case of, bulk export. Then obviously these sanity checks are happening. You are checking for the responses. Basically, in this case, you are waiting for a kind of a URL, and when you get the URL, you can actually initiate the next, next step. Here we are claiming, like we are saying that SQS is in use. So basically, whenever this is ready, you will trigger another step, which is actually, like checking for status. It is actually pooling. So in bulk export, the data is large, so you have to keep waiting for the, like everything is being prepared. So you are checking for all the status, you are checking for the payload. Once this is complete, you can actually go to this final step where you have the data and you might be storing anywhere. Like in this case, we have downloaded to S3, right? So this is how you are doing it, right? So this is where you are getting the bulk export. But let's say if you want to add more on top of it, let's say so in this case we have received this bulk data of patient, but now let's say I want to have this agentic AI flow in place, right? So again, I'm bringing this node here, and consider we have this data available now. With help of this AI, like flow, we can connect, and obviously we can provide all these properties. You can just simply go here. You can provide your API key. You can provide your model. You can provide all these parameters required for calling this AI, like thing. So this could be helpful, let's say you want to have done analytics on this bulk data, you want to do clinical summaries, you want to create care plans, anything you can do, right? So yeah, so this is how you can, again, agentic flow can be created. So if you see what is happening here, like again, this, what again, we just explain in few minutes. Lot of things are happening here, but it is done in a visual way only. It's all like drag and drop and all visual. No coding is required here, right? And in fact, you can this test as well. Like, let me just, so you can just actually do a testing here only. You just start it, and then you can, so you can actually see the logs, what is happening, what kind of where step you are in. All the logs can be seen in this debug thing. So basically, like a lot of things are happening. Again, starting from this authentication, authorization, then creating resources or parsing HL7 or mapping some FHIR resources, or even integrating with, let's say, the S3 services or any AWS service, or agentic flow we just discussed. This actually can take months, but now it could be reduced to hours. Literally, it could be done in hours. So that's like the core value proposition we are saying with this platform. And again, to deploy it is very easy. You can just simply go and deploy it. You'll be able to, have your things ready. So what would happen basically after deployment? Your endpoints will be ready. Or this endpoint could be like, it could be scheduler. It could be an API, or it could be any trigger point. So your infra is provision, authentication authorization flow is configured. So so now there is no waiting or no ticketing system is required. It is now everything is operational. Right. So this is like workflow engine, and I hope you can imagine that how much work is put under it. Now let me move to another good important aspect of this platform is this audit logs. And again, if you have been in this industry, and this, if you have ever built a system, audit logs are very very important. So these are all HIPAA compliant, audit logs we have in place. So basically, audit logs are, whatever is happening into the system, it should be recorded. Like if you done the bulk export, you generated token, or you did anything. So everything is logged. So here you can see it is done in standard way. Like you have the timestamp, you have, like what kind of event happened, what's displayed, what was the source, everything is here. So this is actually fully compliant, fully traceable, fully searchable, and hospitals do love this. Like again, they like this stuff. So this is audit logs, and maybe finally I can show you this quick settings, which I don't think so need much explanation. But you can create your own API key. You can rotate it, obviously. Then you can see the subscription detail, which are obviously basic stuff. And everything is encrypted and stored in a secure way using AWS KMS or Secrets Manager, right? Okay, so yeah. So this was a very quick walkthrough of EHRConnect. Again, as we started with, like, it is HIPAA ready, it is smart on FHIR compliant, it has HL7 capabilities. And again, it is like well architected integration platform, right? That runs entirely inside your cloud. So what you are getting is like you're getting fastest EHR integrations in the industry. You get a full control of your PHI. In terms of security, also you get a like enterprise level security. It does support EHR, payer, clearinghouse, variable, and right, anything you want to add in. You can create AI powered workflows. So all these leads to like this, like you can have a massive reduction in your integration timelines. Any health system can be added, any workflow can be built. So in short, to conclude, like EHRConnect is again, like what already we discussed. EHRConnect is doing all the plumbing thing, and you and your team can focus on delivering the value. So I hope what you saw, and we have built this using our years of real integration experience. So yeah, thank you guys, and Manisha, over to you now. Let's.
Thank you, Arun. Just to connect the dots,
Sure.
Arun kind of spoke about Health Lake and Bedrock and SageMaker. So when you build your workflows, the way Arun showed, that you can add agent, etc. Similar manner, you can use Health Lake, Bedrock, or any of the AWS
Obviously.
to generate different use cases depending on what you really want to do with the data, because the real value is how you use data to enhance that patient experience, which is typically the focus of everyone who's working in healthcare. All right, maybe we can go back to the deck, please. All right, great. Yeah. So this is just a quick overview about more like life looks today and what it looks like with EHRConnect. So I think Aruna has already given a brief overview, but I'll just highlight the unique value proposition which it brings into place. One is, of course, that there are a lot of efforts gone into taking care of the nitty-gritties and the deeper domain specific knowledge. So your team doesn't need to have that to use EHRConnect. That's because that's one of the biggest challenges. Apart from, of course, the huge reduction in time, huge reduction in cost, is certainly one of the highlight compared to all the solutions available. The flexibility aspect, where it allows you to build your own custom workflows, multiple workflows. And the other part is, although we are calling it EHRConnect, but you can pretty much connect any health system and not just EHR. And last but not the least is the full control of data, which is the highlight of this solution. And of course, it's built on the foundation of AWS, and you can also use AWS services on top of it, which are fully compliant. So you are rest assured as far as the compliance and regulatory aspect is concerned. All right, yeah, maybe Hassan can add, but apart from EHRConnect, we really closely work with AWS, to generate value for our customer, be it co-selling with AWS or building solutions which basically accelerate the whole journey, or our expertise within AWS and AWS support for our customers with respect to providing the resources, the training, or funding part of it. We've done that successfully for a few of our customers, and we really value our partnership. Maybe Suyash or Hassan can add few points here in terms of how they perceive our partnership.
Yeah, I can take that. Yeah, so I've been working with Mindbowser for like last 1 year. I can say that what sets them apart is their deep specialization in healthcare technology, particularly the smart on FHIR solution and AI driven healthcare automation tools, which EHR Connect is one of them. One anecdote, to like comment from my side is EHR Connect has been gone through a rigorous like checks from our side, and it has passed the FTR approvals, which is kind of a stamp of authority from AWS that this platform or the tool can be listed on AWS marketplace, which I think I feel differentiate from any other service which might be there, right? So yeah, I mean it adheres AWS's best practices in security, reliability, and operational excellence. And yeah, so I mean you guys should check out some of the uh, tiers they have in the marketplace, and there are more information needed, reach out to Manisha. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Suyash, for adding those insights. All right. So we had saved the best part for the last, although we will certainly take few questions. I think Hassan and Suyash has answered few of them on the chat window itself. But as I said that, the attendees who have taken their valuable time to attend this session, we have this special offer, along with AWS. We are providing a 10% flat discount on EHR Connect for all the attendees who are there for this webinar. And of course, there are a few questions around that. Can I test? Can I try? So yes, once you subscribe, you definitely get 15 days free trial. So you can play around with it and check out all the features which Arun showed, and maybe, create your own use case, because with due to limited time, Arun could showcase few of them only, but you can generate your own custom workflows and play around with the system. So 15 days free trial is what we are providing. All right, and let's probably take a couple of questions here. Let me just check a few of them. I think Hassan has already answered, which was more around, is Mindbowser part of AWS? Well, we are partners with AWS, and but we are a separate entity focused on healthcare in particularly. What is HIPAA ready? Just for the audience, purposes, Hassan has already addressed. Hassan, do you want to add something so that others
Yeah,
also?
all the services we talked about today, they are HIPAA eligible. We can only claim that they are HIPAA eligible, but it is up to the customer to submit additional documentation to make it HIPAA compliant. That's how it works. Like in this case, EHRConnect, HealthLake, HealthOmics, and other S3 and other services, they're HIPAA eligible. And we have a website where you can just see all the HIPAA eligible services, and EHRConnect is one of them.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much. One question I see is more around the cost. What is the cost per EMR site to integrate with, say, Epic or via EHRConnect, subscribing the Epic via App Orchid? And that's a great question. If you, we will share the AWS Marketplace link with everyone after this webinar as one of the asset, and you can go through the generic public pricing, but using your AWS ID, you can subscribe and request for a private offer, and based on your use case and number of integrations you're looking for, we will get back to you with the offer. Since we are giving a special discount and free trial, we will have to get back to you with private offer which includes all these discounts. So all of you who have asked that question, I hope it answers your query. Maybe take a couple of them. How can SaaS vendors use EHRConnect to achieve multi-tenant scalable integrations? Arun, you want to take that?
So again, as we mentioned that, it is everything, like whenever you launch it, you use it, it is all under your cloud. So there may be some customization required, but this is very much feasible to do. This can, you can, as a SaaS vendor, you can use this thing.
Right. Okay. You already have okay, I already have an AWS instance connected with a customized e-prescribing platform. Can you assist to migrate to your Health Lake and EHRConnect? Well, the simple answer is yes. I assume I can answer
Yes.
on behalf of Arun. All right. How does EHRConnect integrate with AI ML models on AWS for real-time insight? I think Hassan gave a good overview about how they can go about it. So Arun kind of showcase how to build the workflow, and on top of it, you can pretty much use any of the AWS services to build your solution. Hassan, you want to add anything?
Yeah, that's correct. EHR is an integration engine, but you can add in the workflow, you can add where you are storing the data and also what service you want to use. And you can add SageMaker as one of the building blocks in that workflow. You can add the Health Lake as a data store. You can use Quick Suite to create those chatbots, but it's like the building blocks. And as long as you have EHR and you have that integration, you should be able to build it.
Great. Arun, maybe you can address this question. Can you explain how no-code, low-code workflow builder simplifies healthcare integrations?
Okay. So as we saw in demo, so like whenever I was moving any node there, behind the scene there are a lot of things happening, right? Like take an example of when you want to let's take an example of that backend to backend we were doing it, right? So there are a lot of steps required. You have to create a token, but to generate that token, there are like you have to set up those keys, you have to host those keys, you have to like sign those keys. So and again you saw it, like we can do in like minutes. So that was like on authentication, but later if you go to this actual like operation action, you are doing it. So again, when you are creating a FHIR resource or any node you can pick in, behind the scene it is managing everything, right? Let's say you want to create a resource, what kind of resource you want to create, you can set in the properties, you can provide your template like format as well, and it can work, right? So maybe when you actually see it happening at your end, you will understand better. That's what I would really suggest that you go and check it out.
Right. I would just like to add that, simple example like FHIR APIs, they behave very differently across Epic, Cerner, Athena. Then you have these HL7v2 feeds with, cryptic segments that need custom parsing, which Arun showcased while talking about the platform, there are multiple authorization patterns, right? OAuth and smart and backend services and whatnot. And then there are security, compliance, landmines, etc. So no code, low code kind of, workflow builder cuts every, the entire cycle of all these nitty gritties, which are time consuming at the same time, needs a lot of expertise in few seconds, and you need not have that knowledge, or there is no need for you to have a deeper insights into it, because the low code no code workflow builder kind of helps you take care of that. So I'll just add to what Arun just mentioned. All right, I think there are few more questions, but we are already over time. But as promised, we will certainly get back to each and every person who's asked the question. And as I said, that if you're looking to explore and you want to kind of test this particular EHRConnect, subscribe to it on Marketplace, and we will reach out to you with private offer for attendees with discount, and happy to discuss. You can directly reach out and schedule a call if there is any specific use case, questions, doubts you have. We're more than happy to schedule a call and talk about it and discuss with you. I hope this webinar was useful. Over to you, Vishaka.
All right. On that note, I would like to conclude today's session. A big thank you to our expert speaker, Hassan, Suyash, Arun, and Manisha for sharing their insights with us. And thank you to all our attendees for joining and actively participating throughout the webinar. As promised, we will be reaching out with the webinar assets, the recording, and the link to AWS Marketplace, along with details on how to access the offer and discount. Thank you once again and have a great day ahead.
Thank you all.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you.
You.